Hello everyone, and first of all thank you very much for joining these training classes. So we'll continue from today after our demo classes, and it will take us about another 8 to 9 weeks to complete the whole training. So today we have one or two new participants in the class. So for them, just want to let you know that how you can communicate with me. So on your screen right hand side you can see a little box. So you can type your question in the box. So whenever I finish a topic, I will answer your questions. Or if you want to talk to me, just click on raise your hand button, and I will unmute you, and then we can talk. So let's start our next topic, CRM service. Okay, so the topics we're going to cover today will be what is installation management and objects, and what is service contracts, what is service order management, and what is complaint and return management. Okay, so again I will repeat the thing that I was talking about in the last week class, that at the moment what we're learning is basically it's all about we're learning the different business processes in SAP CRM, and also how the end users are using the system. This is what we're learning. We're not in real time, we're not creating all these things, but we're learning how people using it, so that once we learn how the system is used, then we'll learn what is happening behind the screen, which is customizing. Okay, so probably including today's class, it will be total 4 classes, and then we'll start all the customizing topics. Okay, so let's start with the installation management and service contract, service order management, and complaint and return management. Okay, so let us start with our first topic today, which is installation management and objects. Okay, and before I start this one, occasionally I've seen that we have seen the sales professional role. So we have seen what are the different functionalities available in sales processing. Okay, like activity management, opportunity management, sales order processing, and all that. So today we'll use this service role. Okay, so similarly we'll go through all the roles. Okay, so today we'll go through service professional role. So I'll click on service professional and start. So today we'll be starting with the installation management and objects. We'll see what is installation management and object. Okay, so let's see first theory, then we'll see some practicals. So installation management is used to model object for a customer, for example device, machine, software, so that you can offer services for them. Okay, so in simple words, what is installation management? Okay, so installation management is, for example, I'm working in a company, okay, and my company is providing services for anything. It can be servicing for repairing servers of a company. It can be servicing of a, say, machinery of a company. Can be anything. Okay, can be, you can think of anything. Okay, so in that sense, what happens is we're not getting one-off service. So basically, we have. It's like sort of, you can think like a contract. Okay, my company has taken the contract, so anything will happen for that machinery in that customer site. Okay, my company or my service department will be responsible to do their bit. Okay, for example, there's a company called XYZ. Okay, and they are basically IT company, and probably you can think they are like an IT cloud company. Okay, and they have different servers. They're using different servers. And my company has basically taken care of servicing their servers. Okay, so whenever there is something wrong with the server, they will contact my company, and my company people will go there and fix the problem in the server or motherboard or wherever the problem is. Okay, so in that sense, what we'll do is we'll set up a install base, what we call it install base. Okay, in our SAP CRM system. Okay, so that is your install base. Okay, so I'll show you one practically, and then you will understand in a better way. So as I said, installation can be a whole unit or can be individual component as well. Okay, so I'll discuss this one in a minute in practical. Okay, so if you look at this picture, okay, just from theory perspective, you can see, for example, my company will take care of the, all the servers at my client side. Okay, so the client is saying, say they have 40 servers, and my company will be responsible for servicing of all the servers. Okay, so in that sense, I will create a data in data like a master data in the system. Okay, which is called installed base. Okay, in which I will keep the record of every server that my company is going to service. Okay, so server number 1. Okay, it has motherboard disk, RAM, this much hard disk, Unix, and all that. Okay, server number 2, it has this motherboard, RAM, it can have this product and all that. Okay, so we'll create a database for that. Okay, so let's see some practical now. So this is our SAP CRM system, and now I'm logged in here as service professional. So as I've shown you in my first class, that depending on what role you logged in, you will see a different screen. Here I have a different screen. This is service specific screen. In last week class we have a sales specific screen. Okay, now I need to create an install base. Okay, so this is installation management. We call it installed base. Okay, we'll see how we can create installed base. Okay, so for example, if I click on accounts and products, okay, so on the left hand side you have the search screen, on the right hand side you have a create screen. Okay, if on left hand side, if I click on search install base, so I can search for the existing install base here. Okay, so search, it will give me some list of install base. For example, I will open one, and that is install base. Okay, so in this install base you can see this is something they have named 64 mega store installation. Mega store is a company like ABC company. So that installation, okay, it has these products. You can see some products here. There's no text here, there's no object here like that. Okay, now I will create a brand new one, and you will see in a better detail. Okay, so under create, I will go to install base create. I'll click on install base and just pick the first category, install base. Okay, so it will open you the create screen where I will be creating an install base. Okay, so just suppose that I got a contract, my company got a contract with looking after their servers, okay, of a company. Okay, so their server is so I will enter their details. Okay, I will enter the details. So here I will enter for example some description. Okay, I will say, okay, installed base for ABC, okay, or ABC company, for example. Okay, install base. Okay, or you can call it server install, whatever you want to call it. You can have your own naming convention. Okay, so that's the one. Then if I open this name and address, I can enter the location, the physical location of this install base. Here I can say, okay, this is installed at this address, ABC company. Okay, and street number, I'll say 100 number ABC street. Okay, and here I can say, okay, any city, Melbourne, postcode 3000, and country you can select from here, which is AU. Okay, so that's the address of the company. Then we can enter some parties involved. We can enter some parties involved. So here I will enter parties involved. I'll click on insert. Okay, so basically we can enter here to which customer. Okay, we have created some customer in the previous class. Okay, so we can use those customers as well. Okay, like I discussed about sold to party, ship to party in the last week class. So we can use those type of partner function. Okay, there's a separate chapter for the partner function. We'll talk in more details in that one. But for now, I'll be using sold to party. Okay, so here you can search for a customer. Click on search button, and here you can search by name. I'll say I will use my customer. There's a customer name set up as Study Nest Education. I'll say Study Nest Star. Search, and that's the one. I'll use that. Okay, so that's the customer I have entered. Okay, if I can click on insert as well, I can enter some more parties involved. For example, who is the sales manager for this one, or who is the sales employee, or who is the service employee or employee responsible. Okay, we have different types of partner function, and we can create our own partner function as well, which we'll see in the next classes. Okay, for now I will use another parties involved, employee responsible. I can search someone here in my company. I can search who is responsible for this one. Okay, I can search, okay, Alan, maybe Alan is a person there. I'll search for Alan, and there are a couple of Alans. I'll pick one Alan, and Alan's here. So Alan is responsible for this install base. Okay, then product component. Okay, let me save this one. Let me save this part, what I have done so far. Click on the save button on the top. It will save it. Okay, then I will carry on. Now I will click on edit on the top, and now I will enter some product components. Okay, if you want, optionally you can enter some components of this product. For example, I'm creating a server, so click on new, and I can enter some products here. Okay, for example, for server, what type of component we can be using? Motherboard, RAM, hard disk. Okay, could be anything. So I will enter few of them. So I'll click on search button. Okay, I'll say I'm searching for motherboard. Just say star, it will give you the data. Okay, so select any motherboard, whatever you want to select. Okay, then I will enter another item. So second item, I will say, okay, RAM. Okay, I'll search for RAM. So by description, you can search RAM. You can also create your own product, which we'll see in the next chapters, how we can create our own product. So I'll select one RAM like that. Okay, also I can enter some, say, hard disk. Okay, so I'll say I'm searching for hard disks. Enter hard disk star. Star means everything starting with hard disk. So I'll select one hard disk here. Okay, so I can enter as many product component which is linked to this install base as I can. Okay, so that's my product, and I will save it. Okay, then we have these blocks that you can see. I can close, I can open. They are called assignment blocks. Okay, we'll discuss about them later on again. They're called assignment block or blocks. Okay, assignment blocks. So there's another assignment block which is text. Okay, I will edit. So you can notice that whatever data I'm entering in these different assignment blocks, all of them are appearing on the left hand. No, sorry, not this data. These items, all the items that I have just entered, or all the product that I have entered, they are appearing on the left hand side as a hierarchy. Okay, so the more I enter, you will see more stuff here on the left hand side in the hierarchy form. Okay, so 3 products I have entered. There are 3 here. Now you can enter some text. Okay, so these text can be some information you want to enter. Okay, or maybe somebody has gone there to fix something. That type of information we can also enter. Okay, so I can click on new, and I can enter some text. Okay, I can say enter, okay, text, test text, for example, whatever you want to call. Okay, so put whatever text you want to enter. Any information about this install base in text you can enter here. Okay, so I will save it again. Save. You will see change in hierarchy. It will also show you a text here. Okay, but using the different symbols here. What type of component it is. This is a text component. This is a product component, like that. Scroll down. Okay, then we can also enter some objects. Okay, I'll click on edit. Okay, I can also enter some objects. Okay, now what is object? Okay, object are like material, these products, but there's a little difference which I'll talk in the next slide. Okay, I'll come back to objects in a minute, but let me enter an object. Okay, search for new, and here I can enter some object. Okay, for now I will enter any object that I find. I'll search for everything, and I will enter or pick any, doesn't matter. Okay, I can enter object as well. No, it's not allowed. Okay, that's already been used. I can't use that. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so I have entered an object. Okay, so for now you can consider object similar to products, but there's a little difference which I'll talk in a minute. Okay, so I have objects. Okay, I can also enter install base components. Okay, what is component? Component means one install base under one install base. For example, what I'm doing here is I'm creating an install base. So under this install base, I can also specify another install base. Understand? So one install base under one install base is called install base component. Okay, if you want to use existing one, or you want to create a new one, I can create another one which is a child. You can say like a child. This is a child of this big install base. Okay, this parent install base. Okay, so that's another option here we have if you want to enter. Then I have attachment. I can open attachment. Here I can attach any document like Word document or Excel file, PDF file. Okay, any contract that we have signed with the customer. I can click on attachment and browse. And for example, I will enter this fact sheet. Okay, or maybe something else. So say this one. I can attach a file, attach. So this file, this is a Word file which will be attached to the server. Okay, so that's attachment here, and service contract at the bottom. You can also link a service contract. Okay, we'll talk about a service contract in the next slides in a minute. Okay, so this is how you can, I'll save it, how you can create your install base. Okay, now you can see on the left hand side we have different hierarchy, and you can see there are different symbols for different one. If I put a cursor on something, it will tell you what it is. So this is the object, this is saying I'm text, this is saying I'm product, this is also product, this is also product. Okay, so this is the concept of the install base. So this is how you can create your install base. Okay, so I hope you understand the meaning of install base and what is the purpose of install base. Okay, so here we'll talk about some purpose again. What is the purpose of installation management or installed base? Okay, so first purpose is to determine the exact object for which the problem has been reported. Okay, that means suppose tomorrow this customer will call me and they say, okay, there's something wrong with that product. Okay, or maybe that motherboard or that RAM or that hard disk. Okay, so they can immediately inform that hard disk number DPC or something like that, it got some problem. Okay, or maybe the customer has 40 server. Okay, so they can tell me, okay, out of those 40 server number 1234 has this problem. Okay, so I can recognize it. So if my company is sending a service technician to see and fix the problem, so immediately I can tell the service technician, okay, when you're going there, you need to look into that server number and that hard disk number. Okay, so it's a better recognition. Okay, so you can determine the exact object for which the problem has been reported. Okay, you can check here in the system. You can also to provide the service rep with information about which object is affected. This is what I just said, that once I have received the information that server number 1234 and hard disk number 234 has this problem, I can immediately tell my service technician, okay, you're going there, you need to just check that product number. Okay, you don't need to search there, you don't need to waste your time, immediately go there and look into that object. Okay, and to document changes made to the object. So whatever changes they have done, we can document the changes. For example, my service rep gone to fix this hard disk. Okay, and they found that hard disk was not working and they have replaced the hard disk. So what I'll do here, I can document the changes. For example, I can enter some text. Okay, so here I can say, click on edit mode. I can enter some text here. I can click on new and I can say, okay, hard disk replaced on any date. Okay, on 28th of 2000 of March and 2014. Okay, and I can save it. So you can document any changes, what happened. Okay, so that is your install base. Okay, that's your install base. Okay, now install base, there are two things within install base: install base and objects. Okay, now you understand what is install base, okay, or installation management. Okay, now we'll study what is object. Okay, what is object? Okay, in simple words, objects are like products. Okay, but they are unique products. They're unique. There's something in that product is unique, which will make it different from others. What I mean, you'll see here. Okay, so object means an object is a globally unique physical or non-physical object that a company sells or provides service for. Okay, so it can be physical, it can be non-physical object that a company is selling or providing the service. Okay, and for example, okay, a car has its own specific number. A supplier of electricity can describe the location of the property using objects such as apartment number. So what that means is, as I said, object has something unique. Okay, object has something unique. For example, car. Okay, what is unique in the car? Okay, say Toyota car, Toyota Camry car. Okay, now Toyota Camry car, which car Toyota Camry? There are so many like that. I will say white Toyota Camry. Again, in white there are so many. Which one are you talking about? Okay, so what is the thing in that car which will make it unique among all the Toyota car? Okay, so I can say the number. Okay, registration number of the car. This is different. So there can be thousands of white color Toyota Camry car, but there's one thing which will make them different for all of them, which is a unique identity, which is their registration number. Okay, so also you can think about chassis number, engine number. So whatever is unique, that is object. So these are the example of object. Okay, so another example is mobile phone. Okay, all the mobile phone has IMEI number, okay, behind them. So that is what they will make them different. So there are so many iPhone 5, iPhone 4, whatever, but what is unique? Unique is their IMEI number. Okay, so that is the case of your physical product, and like a sales type product. Okay, and for the example of a service type product, if it's a utility company who is providing the like a electricity bill or something. Okay, so for them the unique thing will be the address of the property. Okay, so they're providing the electricity bill for all the customers in US. Okay, so what is unique for them? So unique is the location or the address of the property, okay, which is always different. Okay, so this is the concept of object, but objects are basically similar to products. That is the only difference. So when I say product can be, say, motherboard. There can be so many motherboard. There can be so many RAM. Okay, and they are similar. Okay, but your object is unique. Okay, if I go to account and products, and I can search here objects. For example, on the left hand side I can search for objects, search, and there's a list of the existing object. I can pick one here, and you can see this is object. This is object. Okay, I can go back. If I want to create a new object for myself, I can click on accounts and products and object, create object. Okay, here I can give it some ID. You will see here I can give some ID. For example, I'll say car. Okay, if my company is, say, providing servicing of the car, or it's like a leasing car company or something, so I can say car. Okay, registration number you can put, okay, 1 2 3 4 something. Okay, here you can put, or I can put this description, this as a description, and here I can say car underscore 1 2 3 4. Okay, you can select object family. Okay, so we can customize this family as you want, but here's a list of the family. I can pick one family here, say car. Okay, and base category you need to select for that. What is base category? All that will discuss in the next chapter. There is nothing for this one, so I need to select something else. Okay, I will select probably this one. Pick any. There's one error. Okay. So what happens is it's like a linkage. So in the customizing we have an object family. Under object family we have some specific category. Okay, so I cannot use any category under any object. So we'll discuss this one later on. But let me pick something which has some real data. So it's hard to see. There's so many unwanted data you can see. Let me start again. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Okay, can everyone hear me? My internet was disconnected for a second. Just send me a message if you can hear me again. Can everyone hear me? Okay, thanks. Okay, sorry, my internet was disconnected, so should be fine now. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's carry on. So there's a message here that, okay, let me take a message from the chat box. Message is Rohit, you joined late today, so we just started with first topic, installation management and objects. Okay, so we have done with installation management. Now we're seeing what is object. Okay, so let's start again. So I'll create a new object and let me search the category that we're using. So search for existing objects, search, and I will pick the category used here for now. There isn't any. If I click on new, that's wrong. Okay, this should be fine. 0403. Okay, here I will select this category. That's the one function location, and under this one I should find something. Yep, I'll find this one, function location. Okay, that's better. I need to give it a like a ID, so you can create an object family yourself, which we'll see later on. Say car 1 2 3 4, and here you can say, okay, car registration number 1 2 3 4, and press enter. Make sure there is no error, and you can also enter some address and all that like we have done before. Okay, you can enter address. You can enter some parties involved as well if you want. You can enter some price as well if you want. Okay, so we'll discuss about pricing and all that again later on, but these are the things you can enter here. Okay, so but for now I'll just create one here and I can save it. So that is your object. Okay, so in simple words, objects are nothing, they're just like product master or material master, but they have something unique. Okay, so as I said, this stuff like your car registration number is unique, your EI number is unique for a phone number, like that. Okay, so that's your objects. So that's all about install management and objects. Okay, so if you have any question before I move on to the next topic, which is service contract management, please ask me. Okay, any question regarding install base and objects? There's one question here, Kareem saying, I can't see anything. Is it still same, Kareem? Can you just confirm? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so it's better now. Okay, so any question regarding install base? If you don't know what is install base, objects, please ask me before I move on. Next question, can you briefly brief about install base in few words? I think you missed the class in the beginning. You can watch the recording again, but in brief, install base is something when, for example, my company has taken the contract of looking after another company's or my customer's machinery or server or something. So for that, we'll create a master data in the system, which is called install base, where we will enter all the information and all the components or product which is associated with that install base. Okay, so you can watch the recording again, and you just missed 10 minutes or something. Okay. Next is, as a CRM consultant, are we supposed to know each and every tab on the SAP screen? Well, as we move further, okay, as we finish our training, you will understand most of the tab automatically. Okay, it's like I've given the example in my previous class as well, in the last week class, that it's like Facebook. Okay, if you haven't used Facebook, and if I give you 10 minutes as an introduction, I'll show you this is how the Facebook is used and this and that. And after that, if you spend an hour on it, you will understand most of it. So CRM is like that. Okay, once you start using it, you will understand automatically. Okay. Okay, next question is, sorry, but I didn't get install base. Okay, so I'm not sure you also missed the class as well or not. But install base is, I'll repeat again. Install base is used to model the object of your customer. Okay, as I have shown you, I'll show you. Like I've created an install base here before. You can go to the recent items. That's the one. Okay, so I created this install base. So my company will be like the only person who will be contacted for any issue with this server at the company ABC. Okay, that company is like a cloud-based company or something, and they have 40 servers. So my company will be looking after their service for any breakdown, any maintenance, anything. Okay, for that I will set up an install base in the system like a master data. Okay, and here I will enter all the information about that product or the service we're going to provide. Okay, it's install base, it can be machinery of a company, it can be anything. You can take another example of, say, in a hospital. Okay, there are different types of machine like X-ray machine and some other, so many machines are there. Okay, and they need some servicing of that one. So they will contract with the company for any breakdown, the company people will go there and fix those issue with the X-ray machine or wherever the problem is. So in that case, we'll set up an install base as a master data in the system. Okay, is that clear? And we enter all the information like I did here. Okay, so okay, next question is, I'm not sure how objects are related to an install base. Okay, it's not necessarily that objects can be related to install base. It can be, it may be, it may not be. Okay, for some company in some scenario, it may be linked as an object, but it may not be linked. Okay, but we have the functionality here, which I'm showing you. Okay, so it's not mandatory that you need to fill. It's not mandatory that you need to fill the data in all the tabs here, in all the assignment blocks here. Okay, but everything we have is here, and we can use this functionality. Next is, you mean it's like a maintenance plan for a customer? It's not like a maintenance plan. No, it's not maintenance plan. When you say maintenance plan, that is different, which you'll see in sort of, it's like a contract. Okay, it's not maintenance plan. It's like, it's a sort of maintenance plan, but not exactly. Sort of, you can say it's a sort of maintenance plan. Okay, next is IBS for utility company is in port premise etc. details. Is it stored in IBIN table, right? Sorry Rohit, because this is purely functional training, and also I'm a functional consultant, so I do not remember all the tables, and I can't tell you all the tables of whatever topic we cover. So you need to do some own search, and also, as I said in the last week class, I will give you a PDF file where you have all the information about all the tables. Okay, and I'm sorry I do not remember all the tables. Okay, so you need to go through those PDF files to see the tables. Next is, so in the particular example, what will be the job of CRM consultant? Well, this is what I said in the beginning of the class today. We just understanding how the end users or the company people using CRM system. Okay, we haven't discussed the role of CRM consultant yet. The main role of CRM consultant is customizing, which I did discuss on our first day of the class. If you missed that, you can watch the recording again, where I discussed what is the role of CRM consultant. You can watch that recording, you can see in detail. But today what we're seeing is how people using the install base. Then we'll see in the customizing, that what is happening behind the screen, how we can customize something, how we can customize a category, how we can customize a product, anything you can see. Okay. So these data will be entered by only end users, not by us. And next is who is creating the install base. It's maintained by the service department, or you can say customer service. If it's a service company, probably their service department or the service order processing people, or you can say customer service, they will be doing it, not technician. Not technician. Okay. Okay, so any other question before we move on? Okay, so let's see our next topic, service contract management. Okay, what is service contract? As we have seen in the previous week class that we have sales contract. Okay, the same way we have service contract. Okay, we have service contract. So service contract is something, if you see the theory, so service contract is our long-term, sorry, there's a hand raised here. Let me take the question here. I missed that. I can see on and off there's a hand raised, but there is no one who raised their hand. If anyone raised their hand, just lower your hand and raise it again, because I'm having some problem here. It's showing me somebody raised your hand, but I can't see who raised the hand. So if you've done it, just do it again. Okay, lower your hand and start again. Or you can just message me you want to speak to me. So for some reason I can't see the notification here. Okay, service contract. So service contract are long-term agreements between companies and customers. Okay, so as I said last week so let's see some more theory first. So the guaranteed service are represented as service products such as maintenance, hotline, or something which are defined in the contract item. Okay, so what is service contract? Service contract is a long-term contract where we'll define what type of service we're going to provide to the customer. Okay, it can be a maintenance of something, it can be hotline. For give example, you know, most of the manufacturing company, they use compressors. Okay, to run their machinery they need compressor. Okay, and to do the maintenance of the compressor or to look at any breakdown, they give the contract to someone. Okay, so they can give the contract to a company, say my company. Okay, so whenever there's a breakdown, say in the midnight, in the daytime, they will immediately call us and someone from my company will go there and fix it. Okay, that's a service contract. Okay, and contract is where you have a long-term agreement with the customer where we will be locking that they will only contact us for the service of that product. Okay, they will not contact anyone else. And in the case of service, wherever there is a contract, we'll give them some sort of special discount. Okay, because they're giving a 2-year contract. If my company is charging $100 per service or $100 per hour, then we'll say, okay, because you're giving us 2-year contract, we'll charge you only $80 per hour or something, or a fixed amount. So every month you need to pay us a $500, and you can maybe call us 10 times or maybe 0 times, like that. So contracts are like that. And valid service contracts are checked automatically when a service or repair order are processed. Okay, we can also create a service order from a service contract. Okay, we can create a service order as well. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute. And CRM billing is used for bill a service contract. Okay, so let's see some practical for service contract. Okay, they are similar to sales contract what we have seen before. And if I click on service contract here, it will take me to the service contract screen. Okay, so they are similar to sales contract, but here we're talking about service, not a sales product. If I click on sales service contract here and see SC service contract. Okay, and here this is again just like a normal transaction we have created in the previous class, like creating a sales order, opportunity, quotation, like that. So this is the structure of most of the transactions are same. Okay, so here I can say, okay, service contract for compressor. Okay, company ABC. Okay, ABC company. Okay, here I can enter the sold to party who is the customer. So instead of searching, I will type the number here straight away, 98481-985, press enter. select a sales organization. There's one error here. Enter a ship to party. Okay, let me enter some data. So here I will open the organizational data. Again, as I said in the last week class, you just use these three for now. Okay, just use these three. Okay, because there's an interlink between the sales organization and all that we'll discuss in the customizing later on. Okay, and so if you're new to SAP CRM, you can't see anything that you can see in my screen here. So a lot of assignment blocks are hidden. For example, you can see organization data here, but for you, it may be something like this. You will say, okay, I can't see in my screen. Why is that? You may see something like this. There is no organization data. Okay, so every user can customize their screen. Okay, so they can display the assignment block they want to see. If I click on this little button on the top right hand side, personalize, click on that, and on the thing on the right hand side are displayed for me, and on the left hand side they are hidden. Okay, and for now I will pick organizational data and I will move it to right by clicking on this button, and I can save it. Okay, so here you can see org data. That's org data. Okay, and there's error here. They're saying that enter ship to party. So where should I enter ship to party? So ship to party and all data is entered under assignment block called parties involved. Parties involved. Okay, so I can click on this personalize button again, and I can click on parties involved, move it to right, and save it. Okay, so I'll open parties involved, and here, as I said before, we have different data: sold to party, ship to party, and all that. So there's a missing data for ship to party. I will select ship to party, and I will enter the same customer 421985. Okay, so I already discussed about ship to party, sold to party in the last week class, so we don't need to go again. Okay, now that is a service contract, and here I can enter service ID, product ID. Okay, so here I can enter. So what I do is, so in whole of our training you will be seeing me, I use this customer 421985. You can use this customer if you want, or you can create your own customer as I've shown in the previous class and use it. Okay, you can create your own customer or you can use this customer. And for product, okay, for sales related product, I'm using this code, and you can also use the same code ST1010. Okay, and for service product I use this one SRV1_4. SRV means service product. Okay, just like a naming convention, a standard naming convention we have. So for now you can use this product what I'm using, and customer you can use this one, or customer you can use your own. So here in the product ID I will search for that. I can search for a service product. Okay, like if I search, there's so many service product, or I can enter this one. The reason I'm telling you that to use this product are because what happens is these products have some sort of, in the background, which we'll learn later on, have some sort of sales organization linked, sales organization, distribution channel, division linked behind the screen. Okay, same is the case for your customer, same is the case for your transaction. For this transaction as well, we have some, I've given some organizational data. Like for this transaction, I have this sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Okay, so these three things should be linked to this product as well. If it is not, then you will see error. This is why I'm saying that for now only use this product, because I know that behind the screen they have these organizational data assigned to them. Okay, and you will understand in the next chapters how we can assign them yourself. Okay, but when you are new, use this one. So SRV1_4 I will type here manually. SRV1_4, and quantity I can say 100,000 or whatever you want to enter. There's error here. Okay, it's a mismatch in the customizing. Let me try a different product. Okay, I know what that error is and how to fix it, but for now just ignore the error for now. Okay, you can either enter this one or the other product you can enter is this one, SER 021. These two you can use. Okay, so that's how I can create a service contract. Okay, and from the service contract, because there is one error here, it will not allow us for the follow-on transaction as we have seen in the previous class. So if you remember in the last week class, we have seen we can create opportunity, and from opportunity we can convert it to a quotation. Okay, and from quotation you can convert it to a sales order. We have seen in the last week class practically. Okay, so this is controlled by the follow functionality. This create follow. Okay, so we can customize it, what we want to follow, what we don't want to follow. Okay, and if you want from this contract, if I click on create contract, it's only showing me only the activities here, but if I go to forward, there's no transaction like service order or something. But we can customize our system if there is a requirement, so that we can create from your service order, you can create a from service contract you can create a service order. Okay, so once we reach this topic, you will understand what I'm saying here. So we can customize. If you have SD background and you understand the concept of copy control, that's what it is. Okay, we'll discuss about this one later on. Okay, so that can be customized. That from a service contract you can create a service order. Okay, so this is your service contract. And then we have another interesting topic. Okay, service order management. What is service order management? Okay, so service order management is where we go through the whole service process, the service cycle. Okay, I'll just give an example here about a case study. Okay, so case study, the scenario is, first you create a service order, or an order is received by interaction center or by the call center people. They received a service order, or you're creating a service order. Okay, that's the first step. So first we create a service order. What is next after service order? Next is, what we do is we do a resource planning. Okay, there's a tool in CRM we can use for resource planning. Okay, so that means my company is a very big company, and every day we get say hundreds of service orders. Okay, so we need to plan those service orders. We need to assign the jobs to be done in those service order to our service technician. Okay, one service order can be repaired for a server, second one can be to repair some sort of another PC in a company, third can be something else. So we need to assign the job to a service technician, which is done by the resource planning tool, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, that's in the resource planning. And third step is service, or once you assign the job. So I received a service order which I was creating in the CRM system. Then I will use the resource planning tool, okay, to assign the service technician to do the job. Third, the technician will receive a notification in his laptop or somewhere that this job has been assigned to them. Okay, and fourth, after the service employee has carried out the work, they will confirm the service. They will do a confirmation of the service. Okay, 4-step process. Okay, so if you look at here, again the same thing. We create a service order. From the service order, we use a resource planning tool to assign the job to a technician. Okay, then we'll create a service confirmation, okay, which is optional, which I'll discuss again, and finally the billing will be done. Okay, so this is the whole cycle. Okay, from creating from service order, assigning the job to a technician will do the job and do a confirmation. Okay, we'll do a confirmation, and finally we'll bill the customer, we'll send an invoice to the customer. Okay, so let's see one by one. Okay, service order processing. What is service order? Okay, so first we'll see theory, then we'll see practicals. What is service order? So I think we're better to start with the service order practical first, then we'll come back to theory. So I will be creating a service order here. Okay, if I click on service order and create service order, and for now use I've created this new service order, this one, service transaction GS, today morning, just to make sure that things are working as I wanted to show in the class today. So I'll be using this one. You can use the same one if you want to practice. Okay, because others may have error, but this one I fixed today morning, it should be better. So I will select this one, YSER, and here I will enter some description, for example, service order, some text like short text for the service order for ABC company. Okay, or maybe I'm using this customer 421985, enter, and I can say, and I'll select a contact person first. Let me select that. Okay, and I'll say service order for study nest, for example. Okay, then you need to make sure there is no error. There are two errors. Okay, so you will always see this error. So as I said, this is because of mismatch in the customizing, but for now always use the sales organization that I mentioned. Okay, I'll remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. First remove all of them. Sales organization, select in the same order what I'm doing now, sales US. Okay, you will have the recording again. You can just follow the same thing. Make sure you select sales US here, then you use 14 as a distribution channel, and this division you need to use 00. So once you have selected these three combination, then you can select other one. That doesn't matter, others doesn't matter. Okay, select anything for sales organization, and sales office can be anything. Okay, on the right hand side for service, always and always use service US. Okay, because they are customized in a way. So service US here, and again service US here. Okay, so this combination you need to always use. Okay, now you can see there is no error on the top. Okay, always use this sales organization, that distribution channel, that division, and this service organization, this service org unit, this service organization. Okay. Okay, so there is no error here. So my service transaction I have created. Now I will be entering some item. You can enter one item, you can enter 10 items. You can enter as many items as you want. Okay. So service product ID, I will enter here the same as I said, SRV1_4. Okay, and I will enter quantity, one quantity, say, one, enter. Okay, you can see there is no error. Okay, so my company received a service order, okay, from this customer for this job. Okay, what that job is? Repair. You can see there's a description for the job. Okay, and we can create as whatever description we want, which we'll see later on. Okay, and I will save it. Okay, I'll save it. Okay, my service order is ready. Okay, step number 1 is done. Step number 1 is done. Okay, step number 2 is your, now we'll use a resource planning tool to assign this job to a service technician. Okay, now this is very interesting when you see the resource planning tool. Okay, so I have created this order, and I want to assign it to a service technician. Okay, let me click on edit. Oh, there's error. Okay, I know what that error is. Okay, what I'll do, I will copy this order. I will copy this order and create a same one. Okay, I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll click on this copy button, and it will create exactly same. It will copy everything, and it will create exactly same order. Okay, what I did was I forgot to release it. You need to release your order. Okay, if you want to use it in the resource planning tool, I will release it. Okay, and I will save it. Okay, my order number is 201064. I'll write down here. So my service order is, I created 201 and 064. Okay, 064. First I created 063, then I created 201 064. Okay, so that's the one I just, this is a with the status release. It should be released, otherwise you can't use them in the resource planning tool. Okay, this should be released. This one is released, this is not. Okay, so second step is our resource planning tool. Okay, I'll be using resource planning tool to assign this job to a service technician. Okay, so let's have a look. So to use the service, to use this resource planning tool, click on this resource planning and see this resource planning, click on that, and here is a tool. Okay, so first you click on this search show fields on the right hand side, show search fields, click on that. It will open a search screen here. Okay, and here what I'm searching for is by default saying show me all of this week's service order, okay, which needs the assignment, okay, which has to be given to the service technician. I will search for everything. Okay, first it will show you here who are all the service technician available. Okay, so we have some sort of data set up in the system for the service technician. Okay, so I can select, and so for example, to whom you want to give the job. Okay, so these are the service technician working in my company. So for every person I can assign a job. Okay, so let's see. For example, I will say, okay, first of all, I will assign the job to pick any person, say Stephen. I'll select Stephen. Okay, so I want to give a job to Stephen. Okay, I want to give a service job to Stephen. Okay, select the person, click on this button propose demand. If I click on propose demands, it will open another screen at the bottom. Okay, and here it will show you all the service orders that are created between these dates. See, by default it will use 1 week. By default use 1 week, or you can change it, the dates to go back or something. Okay, and will show you more. For example, if I say 13, search, see there are so many. Okay, but by default it's showing you 2014, 1 week. Okay, so I'll stick to 1 week. Okay, and here you can see this order I just created, 201064, right? That's the one I just created. Okay, this one is not appearing. Why? Because this was not released. So any order which has been released, they will only appear here. Otherwise they will not appear. Okay, so you can see 201064 is appearing here. Okay, and 201062 I created today morning when I was making sure that stuff is working. Okay, so I want to assign this job to this person, Stephen. Okay, I will select this 201064. Okay, and then next is I will click on this create button. See create button? That means I'm assigning this job service order to Stephen. Click on create. By default, it will show you. You can notice something. Okay, let me close this screen. Let me cancel this one. You can notice something that, one second, that this order is saying, note this one, duration of the job. It's saying duration of the job is half an hour, 0.5 hour. Okay, so where this 0.5 hour coming from? This is coming from the product that we have assigned to this job, to this order. Okay, if I open this order, I can click on this order. I can click on this order and I can scroll down. I can see that is a product. Okay, if I open the product, it will tell you I'm half an hour service. You can see this is a 30-minute service. See, so this is set up in the product master, which we'll discuss again later on when we study products. There's a separate chapter for product master. This one, chapter number 15. Okay, we'll discuss in more detail then, but for now I'll tell you that this is coming from the product master. Okay, I'll go back. So it's reading from the product master. Okay, and on the right hand side also you can see it is saying I'm not staffed. That means I'm not assigned to anyone. I'm not assigned to any service technician. Okay, so okay, I'll say okay, I will assign you to Stephen. I'll assign you to Stephen. So I will select this service order, click on create button. It will open this screen. Okay, and by default, because it was saying half an hour job, it is also showing you here 12 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. That is exactly half an hour. Okay, so I can change this one. I can say, okay, now this person will be starting the job at 10 o'clock, and I can change it to 1 hour if you want, or leave it to half an hour. So starting at 10, finishing at 10:30, or you can say, okay, no, finishing at 11. Okay, and you can put the date on what date this person is supposed to do the job. So by default, it will show that today's date. You can put tomorrow's date or next week date, anything. Okay, make sure the set is saying I'm released. Released means by default it is released. Released means once you save it, it will go to as a notification to that service technician. Okay, now once I'm happy with this one, then I'll click on apply. When I apply, that job will be assigned to Stephen. Okay, it's done. It's done actually. Okay, how do I know it is done? You can see if I select this one again, on the right hand side, you can see set is saying overstaffed. Why overstaffed? Because I think I must have changed the time. Okay, I must have changed the time. If you use more than half an hour time, it will say overstaffed. If you say half an hour exactly, then it will say I'm staffed. Okay, so this is saying I'm staffed, and this is saying I'm not staffed. Okay, so that job has been assigned to Stephen. Okay, that job is assigned to Stephen. Okay, now what will happen next? What will happen next? Okay, next will be Stephen will be receiving a notification. Stephen will be receiving a notification of that job. Okay, so I'll miss one slide here. I'll come back to this slide in a minute. So Stephen will receive so this is a resource planning tool. Okay, and Stephen will receive a notification. Okay, and that notification can be sent via these channels. Okay, either can be done by a groupware, which I discussed in the last week class. What is groupware? Okay, that means system will make an entry into their calendar. Okay, into their Outlook calendar, Lotus Notes calendar, CRM calendar, all that. Okay, that's a groupware. Or it can be, you can convey them by telephone, you can text message them, you can email them. Okay, you can also send a notification to their laptop. Okay, so these are the methods for resource planning. Okay, so but in actual what will happen is that person will be receiving a notification. Okay, that will receive a notification, and they will go there to the site and they will do the job. Okay, they will go to the site and they will do the job. Okay, now go back to the previous slide here. Okay, so that's how you use resource planning. That's how you use your resource planning. Okay, now with the resource planning, there's another thing you can do. I will start again resource planning. Click on resource planning. Resource planning. Click on show search fields. Search for everything. These are the people. Okay, you can also, let me select one person. Say this time I'll select Robert. If I select Robert, okay, I can assign a timing to Robert. Okay, so for example, Robert is working 4 days a week. Okay, Alan is working 7 days a week. Another guy is working in the afternoon. Okay, third guy is working in the morning shift. So we can assign a time allocation to any person. Okay, so how to do this? Select the person, click on this on the top, time allocation. If I click on time allocations, there's already something assigned here. Let me delete it and I'll start again. Go back and I'll do it again. Okay, so I'll select Robert, click on time allocation, and there's blank here. Okay, I'll click on new. Okay, I'll say here, okay, time allocation for Robert. Okay, and here you can select as allocation type. Okay, there are some types here. Okay, they're not very good naming convention here, but just we'll select training for now. Okay, training. Then I will say, okay, what type, how this guy is going to work. Okay, when I'm assigning the time allocation, I'll say, okay, weekly. This guy is working weekly. Okay, it will open this screen. Okay, now weekly means I can say this guy is working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, until Saturday and Sunday. That means this guy is not working on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, and this guy is working, what time is starting and what time this guy is finishing. Okay, so I can select something here. I can say, okay, this guy is starting at, say, in the morning 10 o'clock and finishing at 6 p.m. Sometime in the PM. Sorry. PM. Okay, so 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. this guy is working. Okay, so when you select this one, so when you assign a job to Robert, system will take care of the timing. System will know that I need to assign the job to this person only during these hours. Only during these hours. It will not assign to 12 a.m. or midnight or something. It will automatically assign to these hours. And it will check that it is Saturday or Sunday. It will check the calendar Saturday or Sunday, and it will only assign the job to this guy on the weekdays. So that's how you can assign a time allocation for each service technician. Okay, and system will take care when it is assigning the job. Okay, I can now go back. I can click on apply button, this apply, and done. There's one error here. Select days such that at least one day becomes selected between dates. What that means? You can also see another thing. You can also select begin date and end date. Okay, begin date means this guy is working. Maybe someone is starting next week in my company. So I can select, I can make the data in the system today, but I'll say this guy will be starting the work on 30th. Okay, on 30th. And ending on, because if this guy is permanent, you can enter say 99999. Okay, or if this guy is temporary for 1 month job or a contract job, you can enter accordingly the end dates. Okay, so now this is done. I think it's deleted. Let me try again. Time allocation for Rob. Allocation type training. Weekly. Monday, Tuesday. Okay. And here I'll say 8 a.m. start. Finish. If I apply, yes, this is better now. Okay, this you can say it's just saved. There's a line created here. Okay, and now I can go back. So this way you can assign the job to this person. Okay. Now this is how the service technician will be assigned a job using the resource planning tool. Okay. Now I'll show you a little video of something a bit advanced. Okay, in the case of resource planning tool. But so as I said before, they will receive some sort of notification. They will receive an entry in their calendar. They can receive a SMS. They can receive a phone call. You can manually phone call them like that. Okay. So once they receive it, they will do the job and do a confirmation. Okay. I'll come back to the confirmation in a minute. Let me go through this slide first. So we'll come back to this point again. Service order. Okay. Let's see some service order first. First we create a service order, then we use the resource planning. Okay, let's come back to service order first. Okay, see some theory first, then we'll move ahead. So for service order is used to record the details of a one-off service. Okay, so when I say service order, it's a one-off service only. Okay, agreed upon by a service provider and a service recipient. Okay, it contains all the information needed to plan, execute, and bill for a service. Okay, it's a one-off service order, service agreement. In all of my slides in the future during the whole training, anything you see in the green like this one, that means this is important certification question. Okay, so always notice, always notice, because you will have the access to all these PPT slides. So wherever you see something you're preparing for certification, you see something green, that means this is important certification question. Okay, that's in our next slides you will see some more green stuff. Okay. If needed, a service order can contain several different types of items. Okay, like a service item, service part item, sales item, expense item, or tool item. Okay, I'll show you this slide in a minute, what I mean. And service order item can provide demand. In resource planning application, you can use service confirmation transaction to report working time, service part expenses tool while performing a service. Okay, so that means once you create a service order, it will generate a demand in the resource planning application, which we just used. Okay, it will generate a demand. It will show a new entry as soon as you save a service order with a release status, it will show a new entry in the resource planning tool, like I have shown you just here. Okay, it will show a new. If you click on propose demand, it will show you a new item here. Okay, so okay, now we'll come back to this point number this 2. Okay, a service order item can contain 5 types of item. Okay, your service item, okay, your service part item, sales item, expense item, and tool item. Here have a look. Okay, so this is a good thing about a service order. That means in a service order, not only you can select a service, not only you can enter a service item, you can also enter a sales item. Okay, can you tell me the difference? Do you know this difference between sales item and service item? I'll discuss about the other items in a minute. If you don't know this, okay, let me explain one by one. So first is your service item. You can enter a service item. What is service item? Service item is just like a service. Like I have just used a 30-minute service, like a repair service or something. That's a service item. Okay, where we're going to repair something. Okay, then we have second one, service part item. What is service part item? So for example, there is I received a service order in my company that for my customer, there's a breakdown in the compressor. Okay, or their machinery, there's a breakdown. Okay, and they want my company technician to go and fix it. Okay, in that case, we'll enter a service item. Okay, then we can have a service part item. What is service part item? Maybe to repair that job, to repair that machinery, I may need some sort of what do we call it, accessories. Okay, some part of the machinery. Okay, those part can be maybe, you know, something like a filter. Okay, or maybe you need to change the oil. You need to do something else, change that part. Okay, they are your service part. They are a service part. Okay, to do that job, you need to replace the, for example, to fix a breakdown in a server, you need to replace the hard disk. Okay, so what is hard disk? Hard disk is service part. Okay, so we can also enter a service part item, where a service will be to repair the server. Okay, then we have sales item. We can also enter a sales item. What is sales item? What we enter in the sales order. Okay, in the previous class we have seen we can create a sales order, and in the sales order we enter a sales item. Sales item is a physical item basically, which we use in a sales order, and where we need to further deliver it, use a logistic process, use SAP SD and all that. Okay, so in this one you can also enter a sales item. So what that means is your service order can behave like a sales order as well. That's what it means, because in the service order you can also enter a sales item. That means your service order can also work like a sales order. Okay, then fourth one is your expense item. What is expense item? Expense item is like if the service technician was going to do that job, maybe they can enter some sort of expenses. For example, if it was on a remote location and the service technician had to stay there overnight and he was stayed in a hotel, okay, he can claim for the hotel charges, he can claim for the food charges, he can claim for whatever. Those are the extra, like a miscellaneous. Okay, so we can enter also a thing called expenses, like a miscellaneous charges. Okay, and finally fifth one is tool item. Okay, to do that job, maybe my service technician had to purchase some special Allen key or some special spanner, okay, or a special plier. Okay, so we can enter some tool item as well, like expenses, just like as a tool item. Okay, so these are the 5 items we can enter in a service order, and this is a very important certification question. Definitely it will come. Okay, so these are 5 items we can use in a service order. Okay, some more theory about service order. Service order items describe the service that is to be performed. Okay, as you've seen, service order item will describe the service to be performed. Service part item is used to plan, control, and so all these 5 things, I'm going to explain the same thing in one by one here. Okay, first one was your service order item. What is that? That is what will describe the service that is to be performed. What needs to be done? It's a repair of server, repair of machinery. What is that? That's your service item. Then service part item, okay, is used to plan, control, and document the service part component. It informs the technician which spare part is required for the service process. As I said, To do that job, they need to change a filter. That means to fix the issue, they need to fix the server, they need to replace the hard disk. So what a spare part they require? That's your service part item. Sales item, like your item we sell, like a physical goods item, you can enter in the sales item in the service order. Expense item, as I said, your hotel charges, your food charges, your whatever charges you can sing, your taxi charges, they have hired a taxi. This is expense item, and finally you have tool item. So that service technician has to buy some special tools to perform that job. Okay, that's your tool item. So these five types of item you can enter in the service order. Okay. Now we'll come back to resource planning tool. Okay, so as I said before, you have seen how we can use a resource planning tool, how we can assign a job to a service technician. Okay, and we can inform the service technician, we can notify the service technician about the new job via group where. That means they will get an entry into their calendar, or other channels like they will get a text message, or maybe via telephone or via email or mobile service. They will get a notification to their laptop, which is connected via mobile service, like a calendar entry they can get. Okay, group where is they will get a entry in their Lotus Notes or Microsoft Outlook calendar, and this one is your third one is your CRM calendar. Okay, so that's how we can notify. Okay, so okay, now once we have done the resource planning, okay, so after we created a service order, then we created a resource planning, and then finally what step is that? Third step is optional. Third step is optional, which is called service confirmation, which is optional. Okay, so optional means a company can wish to have the confirmation step or not, or it can finally go to billing. Okay, so third step is optional. Confirmation, depending on the business, if they want the confirmation or not. So they can add a confirmation step, or they cannot. They will say, no, I don't want to use the confirmation. Okay, and finally they will do the billing if there's a confirmation required. Okay, now before I show you the confirmation step, I show you again, we'll come back to this topic, resource planning. As you have seen the resource planning tool here, okay, now I'll show you a little video, a 3-minute video, where I will show you on the YouTube. You can find on the YouTube that this is a bit advanced, you can think, but it's like how a service technician will receive something and they will perform the job and do a confirmation. Okay, so here I will type SAP CRM resource planning. It used to be the first video here, resource planning tool. Maybe the video is removed, I guess. Let me Google it. not this one. Where the video is removed, what I'll do, I'll show you because the same video I've shown in my previous batch as well, and I will open that video. Okay, just be. See, that's the one. Yeah, the first one. So that has been removed. Okay. So I'll show you here. So just watch it.
Hello, my name is.
Also, you can notice that they have a little bit different screen than mine, because I think that's
Demands. I would like to show you a nice scenario in the area of field service using the resource to this specific job. If you set the status to informed, this will trigger an email which is then sent out to the service technician. This email is sent out automatically and contain an Adobe interactive form. This layouted mail arrives at the technician inbox. This can be an internal or an external technician. After the technician receives the email, he can open the Adobe interactive form.
So I'll repeat again what they're saying if it's not clear. So once you have assigned a job to the service technician, the service technician will receive an email here. Okay, and the email will be linked to a PDF file you can see. Okay, now the service technician is opening this email and the PDF file, which he can see to perform the job, and then he will do the confirmation. Okay, just have a look again.
Here you see the form.
So I'll stop it here for a second. So you can see that as soon as you have assigned the job to a service technician, the service technician will open their email inbox and they will see a job there. Okay, and it's using an Adobe form. Okay, when they open the Adobe form, you can see some more advanced functionality within the Adobe form. But the notification is sent via email to the service technician. Okay, so just have a look next.
Here you see the form. This form contains all the relevant information the technician needs to fulfill his job. At customer side, he can confirm the quantity he worked on, he can confirm the time, or can change it, and he can enter the text. After he did this, he can either save the Adobe form locally, or he can submit this online using the submit button. After a successful submit, you can see the service order number which is created in the system right away. Back in the resource planning application, you will see that the specific assignment is marked as completed automatically. If you now follow the hyperlink to the service order, you will find the created confirmation listed in the service order. You can also link to the confirmation and see that all information you enter there is also available there and stored there correctly. Thank you.
Okay, so that was a little video which is not available on YouTube anymore. Okay, so you can see that was a bit advanced functionality. What happened was in the resource planning tool we have assigned the job to someone, to service technician. Service technician received an email as a PDF file. He opened the PDF file and see all the job to be done, and in the job, in the PDF file, he has entered the text that yes, this is done, has been replaced, and in that one he clicked a button called submit, and by clicking that button, system automatically created a confirmation transaction. Okay, that's a bit advanced, but in easy CRM, what we do is we manually create it. We can manually create a confirmation, this step. Okay, like a transaction. Okay, so here I show you, that's the order number I just created, 201. So I'll search for this order number. I'll copy that. I will look for this order. I'll search service order, paste the number, search for it, open it, and here to do the confirmation, again like we have done in the previous chapters, create follow-up, and here forward, you can see service confirmation. See that? You can see a service confirmation. So I will be selecting this service confirmation, and it will create it as a follow-up. There is a message here. Oops. I know what is happening. I need to fix it. There's an error. I can't go to the edit mode. You can see there's some error here. Okay, I'll fix it today after the class. But for now, to show you this functionality, I need to copy it again. So before saving it, I need to release it. Okay, and then here, no, maybe I can't do it. Let me try one more time. Save. No, it has been logged. It's logged. Okay, let me see if I can quickly fix it. If not, then we'll ignore it for now. Okay, just ignore me what I'm doing. You will learn later on. No, still can't do it now. No, I need to fix it. I'll fix it later on. So what will happen is, again, like in the previous transaction, I can click on this one, create follow-up, and forward, and service technician, and that's it. Okay, it will copy to a new transaction. I can see that. Okay, probably I'll show you example in the previously created one. We'll search for service order created. Is between maybe cancel that. Search for business partner 421985. Oh, this is also having same problem. Okay, this is working. I found an old order. Okay, it's not copying the item, but anyway, this will do the job for now. So I found this is an old service order I created before. Okay, so here in the next step, when the service technician will do his job and he need to do it manually, he will come to create follow-up, and as a follow-up document here, these are the activities. We need to ignore it for now and go to the next one. Here select service confirmation. Okay, and service technician will click on service confirmation, and it will copy the transaction to a new one. Here you can see it's not copying the item. I will ignore the item for now, and it has copied the header. Okay, this transaction has been copied to a confirmation. On the top you can see this is a confirmation, and I can save it. Save it. That means confirmation has been saved. Done. Okay. So once you have created a follow-up, okay, from the service order, that is you created a confirmation, then it will be linked. Like I have shown in the previous classes, they will be linked. If I go to the transaction history, you can see that this is the service confirmation number 151. It is saying I'm connected to this service order. Okay, 201018. If I click on this 201018 service order, so this is a service order on the top. Okay, and if I scroll down under the confirmation, you can see the transaction that I just created, 151. Okay, so they will be linked together. They will be linked together. Okay, so you can see, so these are the steps. These are the main 3 steps over here. So once, as I said, this step is optional. This can be removed, this can be added. Okay, so we can customize it, which we'll see later on. And finally, so this is one of the tasks of CRM consultant. As you said, what we are supposed to do. We will customize the business process, how they want to use it. They want to add this step, they want to remove this step, like that. Okay. So finally, the final step is billing. So with billing, there's a separate chapter for billing, and we'll discuss the billing topic here, chapter number 21. Okay, in 21. Okay, in more detail. Okay. So these are basically the 3 steps for a service order processing. Okay. So go back to the slides. Okay, so if you have any question regarding these 3 things before I move on to the next one, please ask me. Okay, service order, resource planning, service confirmation, and billing. So any question, please. Okay, so let me take some questions. Okay, question is, can you explain the sales item in service order? Sales item is like in last week class you didn't attend, but in last week I've shown how to create the sales orders. Okay, and in the sales order we enter a sales item. What is a sales item? Sales item is a physical item. It's not a service item. It's a physical item that require logistic process, delivery, and all that. Okay. For sales item we create sales order. For service item we create service order. But we can add a sales item into a service order. Is that clear? Here. Let me explain again. We have a sales order. What we do in the sales order? We enter a sales item, right? We enter a sales item. What is a sales item? Which is a physical item which further require logistics or delivery process. Okay. Then we create service order. Okay. In service order, what we do is we enter service item, which doesn't require a logistic because it's not a physical item. But the thing is, in the same service order, we can enter a sales item. This is what it is. That means service order can behave like a sales order. Why? Because it has a sales item. Okay. So any other question regarding these topics we covered so far? Okay, no question? Okay. So probably it's nearly half the time, so we'll take a break. So let's take 3-4 minutes break and then we'll continue. Okay, so we'll be back in 3-4 minutes. Okay, so let's start again. I hope everyone is back, and let me take some questions from the chat box. Okay, first question is, when can service order become a sales order? It's not like service order is becoming a sales order. What I'm saying is, in the service order, you have the option in CRM to enter a sales item. This is what it is. Okay, so if you're providing a service to a customer, for example, and for the same customer at the same time, you want to sell a item as well. You're selling something. So that means you will be creating one service order for the same customer, and you will be creating a service order. You're creating one sales order, one service order. Instead of that, you can enter the both item in service order. This is what it is. Okay, it's not about it will become a sales order. What I mean is, it will behave like a sales order only for that item. And next is, what about if customer comes to my company and give me the item to repair? What will be the cycle? Repair we'll discuss it. This is the last topic of today's class. We'll discuss the repair in that one. Complaint and repair. Then we have, what happens if you don't do the service confirmation? Well, then it will not appear for billing. Okay, depend how you have customized. Okay, if for the billing processing, the customizing saying that once it is confirmed, then only I will bill it. Okay, then if you don't do the confirmation, it will not be available for billing. Okay, if it is mandatory, if it is optional, means you don't require confirmation, then it's fine. It can be billed straight away. So this is what we'll discuss in the billing topic later on. And next is, how the billing know that the task has been completed and now we need to bill the client. This is what we'll learn in the customizing. This is what the CRM consultant will be doing. Okay, so this is what we'll discuss here in detail in the customizing topic, billing, topic number 21. Then how does the system know that I need to bill this but not the other one? Then we have next is, so we will create a goods receiving document. I didn't get the goods receiving document. No, we do not create any goods receiving document. As I said in the last week class, whenever there is a sales item, it will be replicated to ECC. Okay, because it requires logistic process. So in ECC, you will be doing the delivery, good receiving, good post-good issue and all that. Okay, not in CRM, but only for that item, which is sales item. Next is, in the resource planning application, will the SMS and email sent from the CRM or manually? It is automatic. It is automatic, done by the workflow type of stuff. Okay. And then we have service part item needs ECC logistic to be involved. Yes, this is right. So service part item is also a physical item. So yes, it also requires ECC logistics. So it will also replicate it to ECC, where all the MM and SD stuff will happen. Next is, in ECC we have a DIP profile. What is DIP profile? Can you tell me what DIP stands for? Okay, just explain me DIP means, and then we'll continue. Okay, sorry, but I don't know, but it contains all the process needed for an item. No, there's nothing called the sort of profile in CRM, DIP or something like that. No, not in CRM. And to be honest, I have never heard in ECC as well. Okay, so no other questions, so let us carry on. And if you have any question, you can keep typing. Okay, there's one hand raised here. So yes, Naveen, you raised your hand, so let me unmute you, you can speak.
Hi, Gurjeet.
Hi, Naveen.
the thing is that, for example, if there is a compressor which needs to be serviced, and as I understand that a compressor will consist of every different parts, sub-parts. So can those any different sub-parts can be configured with that processor, the compressor, I'm sorry, in the CRM system? So that whenever the service request comes to change any of the part, so I think it will be feasible for the service person to look into it.
Okay, let me explain the question again. What you're saying is, if we need to service a compressor, it requires some different parts. So how we can configure or how we can use those parts in the service order? This is what you're saying?
Right.
Yes, okay. This is what it will be covered here. This is what I was talking before. That this will be covered in service part item. They will be under service part item, like a spare part. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So thanks for that, and let's carry on. Next we have is okay. I again keep seeing another hand raised, but I want to see who raised a hand, but there's no one. But if you raise your hand, someone, please message me, and otherwise ignore me. Okay. So now we'll discuss some other advanced functionality. Okay, we'll just give you an overview that this is also possible in CRM. So my advanced functionality within CRM. Okay, so CRM service can be integrated to ERP as well. Okay, with a backend system. Okay, for stuff like for the financial stuff, like what is a planned cost, what is a planned revenue, all that. So you can send the financial data, which is basically the finance side of SAP, to the backend system, which is, if you heard about FICO or COPA system, so in EC system we can send that. And also the same for the service confirmation, what was the actual cost, what is actual revenue, and all that. Okay, so let's see the next slide, and we'll discuss here what type of data can be replicated to the backend system. Okay, here you can see also you can enter the data for the timesheet. Okay, so where, for example, here you have someone done a service. Okay, service technician had done a job. Okay, so basically he's working 8 hours, but he spent 10 hours over there. So he worked 2 hours extra. Okay, that means he should be paid for overtime. So that is configured with the timesheets. Okay, so let's see here. And also your service part item. Okay, they are physical item. What is service part item? It's a spare item. Okay, and it requires logistic process. So that will also replicate to the backend system, because as I said in the previous class, it will behave like a sales order. It requires logistic and integration with MM. Okay, like purchase requisition or reservation, purchase order, and all that. Okay, so let's see one by one. Logistic integration. Okay, so CRM service transaction can trigger material reservation, procurement document, as well as posting of good issue. As I said before, if you have a sales item in a service order, or if you have a service part item like a spare item, okay, which is a physical item in your service order, so that means that item will be replicated to the backend system, which is SAP SD system, where the next logistic process will start. So those logistic process can be your SAP MM integration, which is your procurement, reservation, creating a purchase order to buy that item, and finally your logistic process like delivery, picking, packing, or maybe posting good issue and all that. Okay, so it will be integrated with the logistic, and it will behave like a sales order in that case only. It can also, your CRM service side can also be integrated with the controlling integration, with the controlling, which is the finance side of SAP in the backend system. Okay, so CRM transaction can trigger the posting of cost and revenue. Okay, so it can send the data to the finance in SAP ECC for the cost and revenue and all that. Timesheet integration. As I said, if there's a service technician who worked on a job 2 hours extra, okay, there was extra effort required to complete the job, he worked 2 hours extra, so they're doing overtime every now and then. Okay, so whenever they do overtime, they finish the overtime. In the service part item, they can enter how many hours they have worked. Okay, so that can be the service confirmation. In the service confirmation, they can enter how many extra hours they have worked, actual hours. Okay, so that can be integrated with a thing called timesheet. Okay, if you know SAP HR module, human resources module, okay, which is another application of SAP. So CRM can be integrated to SAP HR application, where the data from the confirmation will be sent to the payroll. Okay, and payroll system will calculate, okay, how many hours this guy worked, and do the calculation for their payment, okay, for their salary. So that's a timesheet integration. Accounting integration. Okay, CRM billing document can generate open items in account receivable. Okay, so what that means is if you know about account receivable, account payable, so what that is, if my company has provided some service to a company, that means once I have created a billing document and I send it to the customer, so that means my account receivable department will see an item in their system that we need to get payment of this many $1,000 from this customer because of this invoice. Okay, so in their account receivable system, in the backend system, they can see, okay, for every billing document generated from CRM, it will be integrated to that system, where they can see, okay, we are supposed to get this much money from this customer for these billing documents. Okay, so every billing document will generate an open item for the account receivable people. And billing integration. So CRM service transaction like service orders, service confirmation, service contract can trigger debit memo requests in SAP CRM. Okay, so we can also create some like debit memo, credit memo, and all that. Okay, I'll come back to this point in a minute. Also, in the end of today's class, I'll discuss our next topic, which is CRM complaints and returns. Then we'll talk about the debit memos and all that. Okay, in detail. Okay, so these are the integration we have for CRM with the backend system. Okay, so we have seen service order, we have seen service contract, we have seen service resource planning tool, service confirmation. Now we'll discuss service request. Okay, just remember there's a difference when I say service request or service order. There's a difference, very minor difference. So service order, what was service order? Service order is just like a request from my customer to do a one-off job. That was a service order I've seen here, right? Okay, service order is used to record the detail of one-off service agreement, okay, between the service provider and the service recipient. Okay, now we'll discuss about this. That was a service order. Now we'll discuss service request. Service request. Okay, so what is service request? From business perspective, the service request is a customer inquiry for provisioning of a predefined service. Okay, with a CRM service request transaction, you can document. I'll discuss what is document in a minute. So in simple words, the meaning of service request is where a customer can request for a service which is predefined. Okay, you can think it like a help desk. Like a help desk type thing. Okay, for example, if you think about install base, my company is responsible to do any breakdown with all the machinery in that hospital, for example. Okay, so whenever there is a breakdown in the hospital in the X-ray machine, they will contact us, and someone from my company will go there, will check the install base in the system. I have created an install base for all the machinery for the hospital, and they will report that for this machinery number we have the issue. So we can see here in the install base, and I'll ask the service technician, okay, you go there and look into this install base number, this component number, like that. Okay, but so one thing is that hospital people, they can contact me and they can ask that there's an issue with that install base, okay, or that machine. Second, what they can do is, if we provide them access to the CRM system, they can raise a service request for the same problem. So here the difference is they have the access to the SAP CRM here. We have given SAP CRM access to them, And what they will do is they will come here, they will open CRM, and they will raise like a help desk call. Okay, what they will do, they will click on service operation, and not here, sorry, service order, and they will click on create a service request. Okay, they will come here, they will click on service request. Okay, pick service request here. And here they will provide some information like, okay, they'll say, okay, breakdown in machine 1234. Okay, the customer ID 421985, for example. Okay, and basically what they will do is they can link the install base here. Okay, they can search for here from here, and they can search that which install base has the issue. They can search. Okay, they have access to all these, and for example, I'll pick any install base, for example this one. They can select that install base. Okay, or if it install base has a further install base under that, you will also see component and other stuff. Okay, let me select another one. If I search for using, there's a different search option, header using partner data. Let me try this. Okay, that's the one we just created today. Okay, so I'll pick this one. That's the one I created. Okay, today. So I'll select this one. Okay, sorry. Okay, and they can, so they're raising a call, like a help desk call to fix the issue with, they can link it with this one. Okay, they can also see, they can also create some other data. They can enter some other data like category. We can create this, you can see the drop down here. So we can create this category in the customizing as well. Okay, so that's another task of consultant. Okay, so then they can see, for example, monitor. So whatever you select on the top, depending on that, you will see the second one. So whatever you select in the second one, you will see the option in the third one, like that. Okay, so they can select a category. Okay, they can also rate the problem to other problem, like related problem. So they can say, okay, this problem is related to, for example, I'll search for other problem like other request. There's only one here. So they can link it to something else. Okay, I can't select it, there's some error. Okay, just ignore that. And because there's a mismatch of the sales organization. Okay, and they can here, they can select the urgency, like it's very urgent, it's a disaster, immediately we need fix, or it's a low priority, so they can select a priority. Okay, so I can say it's a medium. Okay, and they can save it. Okay, and they can save it. So once it is saved, the notification will be received by our company's customer service department, and they will again start working on it. Okay, so they will arrange a service technician who will go there to fix a job, and the next process will start. And whatever changes they have done, they will open the install base. They will open the install base, and they can maintain the text here. Okay, so this disk has been replaced or whatever. Okay, so that is your service request. So let's see some theory for service request. So from business perspective, the service request is a customer inquiry for provisioning of a predefined service. With the CRM service request transaction, you can document who has reported the issue. Okay, if you're using the service request, these are the functionality that you will get. Who has reported the issue and who is responsible for processing it. Okay, you can also enter the employee responsible, who is responsible for doing the job. The processing status and date, you can enter the status, is in process, it's new, like you can see here. What is that? Go back. Okay, here you can click on edit. You can enter the requested date, requested end date, like that. You can enter the dates, you can enter the status, in process, new, completed, cancelled, whatever. Okay, and also you can have the impact like urgency, priority of the request. So in the drop down you can select, how urgent it is. Okay, disaster, medium, high. Textual description, for example, a problem and a solution description, as well as the links to attachment. You can also enter some text. You can also enter some text, like here in the notes, click on new. I can provide more details here. I can provide, for example, problem description. I can say, okay, this is wrong, this is not working since last night, please have a look into this one, this is very urgent. Okay, go back, and you have the text here. Okay, so you can enter some text to define the problem, and which objects are affected. As I said, you can link the object or an install base as well to the service request, and which other transactions such as problem, knowledge articles, etc. are related. So the same thing, you can you can link the other objects, you can link the other stuff. For example, if I click on if I create a new one, you will see that you can link some component, some object like that. Okay, don't need to specially link install base, you can link only particular object as well if you want. Okay, so this is a service request, and there's just minor difference between the other one. Okay, so there's a service request. Now we'll talk about complaint and return management. Oh, but before that, if you have any question, please ask me regarding service request or whatever we covered today. Okay, so let me take some questions. Question is, why would the customer do a service request? Because it's so many steps involved in CRM, whereas they can easily call the company. What is the benefit of giving access to the CRM to the customer? Well, this is the business process. Every company has their own business process. Okay, and they want to work in the way they want to work. Okay, some company can then I'm agree with you. Okay, they don't want. Some company can say, no, we don't want to give the access to CRM system to my customer. Okay, this is very hectic, and for security reason, I also don't want to give the access externally. Okay, I want them to call me, which is fine. But some customer can say that, okay, no, we want to create like a help desk call. Okay, even if like these days we have the cloud services, okay, everywhere. So my company, say I'm working here, and say for example, I'm working here. Okay, I'm using the SAP server, and this SAP server is on cloud. Okay, so I have something wrong with the server. Server is down. What should I do? Either I can call them, or I can create a help desk call. So this is a help desk call, nothing else. It's a help desk call. Okay, so depending how the business process has been set up, so either I can call them, or I can call them or create a service request like that. Okay, so that's a requirement from the business, nothing else. But again, whatever is available in CRM, we're learning here. Okay, we need to know before we start learning customizing, before we start applying for a job, before we start working as a CRM consultant, we need to know each and every functionalities. It may not be used by all the companies or rarely any company. Okay, but we're understanding here everything. Okay, so next we have is CRM complaint and returns. Okay, so in CRM we can create complaints as well. Okay, now what is complaint? Complaint can be of so many types, can be different reasons. For example, one customer just called me. They said they received a billing document, or they received an invoice, okay, where the price that we have mentioned in the invoice is incorrect. Okay, so we were supposed to charge them $100, but the invoice is saying $150. So they raised a complaint. Okay, second example, they called my company. They said they received some goods from my company. My company is selling laptops. Okay, they received the laptops, 100 pieces of the laptop, but 2 of the laptops are damaged. Okay, they are broken. They were broken somewhere in the transit or anything. Okay, they will raise a complaint. Okay, third, maybe there's some defect in the quality of the product. They received some product from my company and there's some defect. Okay, they will again call my company, they will raise a complaint. So these are the example of complaints, and there can be so many example of complaint. Okay, so your complaint is linked to a sales order, can be linked to a sales order, can be linked to a service order, can be linked to a service confirmation, can be linked to a billing document, can be linked to any transaction, right? Okay, so that's what complaint is. So that means we can create a complaint in the system with reference to any document, depending on what we have in the customizing. Okay, or we can create a complaint without any reference. I'll show you both. Okay, let's discuss about complaint first, then we'll come back to return. Okay, you go to complaint and return, and here I will create a complaint. As soon as I click on complaint and select the CRMC, just this complaint, CRMC. Okay, oh sorry, let me try again. I'm not sure which one I selected. Complaints and returns, and click on complaint, CRMC. They are similar, they all are similar, but just pick CRMC for now. And here I can link a reference. See, I can reference to a confirmation, service transaction, service standard order, service transaction again, and the service transaction, help desk order, internet sales, sales process. These are the sales order, billing document, and all that. Okay. For example, if I say, okay, I want to link it to service order, select service order, it will show you another screen. Here's another screen. Okay. Here you can search service order by different way. Okay. For example, here I can say, okay, I want to search for a sales order ID. This customer just called me. They said, okay, my order number is 1234. I'll type here 1234 and search. Okay. Or customer say, no, I don't know what is my order number. I'll say, okay, no worries, I will find you here. Okay. So what I'll do, I will open sold to party. I'll select sold to party, who is the customer, and I'll search for customer, say 421985. That's wrong. Sold to party ID, this one, 421985. Okay, so that's the customer just called me, and these are the sales order we have in the system. Okay, I'll say, okay, which sales order? This one, this one, this one, this one. They said, okay, no, this one. I'll say 5000219. So I can select that here, and I can click on create complaint. If I click on create complaint, it will open a new screen. It will copy the data. It will copy the data from previous sales order to the, this is your complaint is ready. Complaint is ready, and I can save it. See that? I can save it. Okay, and you can see the link. My complaint is ready. You can see we don't need to do the data entry again and again. It will copy all the data from the previous transaction. Okay. Now I created this service order, right? I will use this service order to create my complaint again. Okay. So I'll go back again. Complaint, select CRMC, and here we have a couple of transaction type in the system. Okay. Again, what you can see in the drop down and what you can't see, what is available here, what is not available here, where it is controlled in customizing. So if the customer, this is a dummy system, we have everything here, but the customer say we just want to reference to a standard order and service order, nothing else. So there should be 2 items available here. So as a CRM consultant, we will customize it in the system, and only 2 items will be available here, right? So for now, I was using this service transaction GS, that's the one I was using. So they called me, they said, okay, I'll say, okay, what is your service order number? They will say, that's the number, and I will search for it. Okay, that's the one. I'll select that, and here I will click on create complaint. See, there's a button at the bottom, create complaint. Click on that, and as soon as I click, it will copy the data from that service order to the complaint, and I just need to save it only. That's it. Okay, I'll click on create complaint, and there you go. Okay, now in this pop-up, what it is asking me, it is giving me the list of all the items in the previous service order. It's asking me for which item you want to create the complaint. Maybe in the service order there were 10 items, but the customer is only complaining about 1 item. So I can select the item from this pop-up. Okay, but because I had only 1 item in the previous service order, so in this case I will only select 1. Okay, if you have 10, you can see 10, and you can select whatever you want to select. And I will click on choose, and your complaint is ready. Okay, and here they can also have the option to like status, open, in process, priority, high, very high, medium. Okay, and also they can select some category. Okay, they can say, okay, again those category you can see here, For example, personal computer, and you can see here computer terminates. Okay, so these drop down we can customize in the background. That's again who does that? CRM consultant. Okay, these are the dummy one. And because it's only customized up to 2 level, that's why the 3rd and 4th level are grayed out. Okay, and I can save it, Okay, and if I scroll down, if I open the transaction history at the bottom, if I open this assignment block transaction history, you can see that this complaint is linked to this service order. Okay, I can straight away jump to the service order from here. I can click on 201064 and that's the service order. And in this service order, you can see the same linkage. If I scroll down, open transaction history, you can see this is linked to this complaint. I can click on this complaint number, it will jump to that complaint like that. Okay, that complaint is ready. Now, this complaint system is very advanced in CRM. Okay, I'll show you here why it is advanced. If I go to the item details, okay, I'll talk about this one again in the next chapter. This is the header data. This is the header data, which is the common for all the transactions. And this is the item data, which is the item specific. This is one item. There can be 2nd item, 3rd item, 4th item. So those are the item specific data. So if you want to see the item specific data, you need to click on this button. If you click on this button, it will take you to the display mode. If you click on this button, it will take you to the change mode or edit mode. Okay. So if I click on the edit mode here, it will take me to the next screen, which is only item specific screen for that item only. So you can see that's for this item only, that item number 1. Okay. So here you can see on the top you have some buttons. Okay. So what they are actually. So by clicking on this button, we can create a document in the backend system. For example, customer just called me. They said, okay, they're not happy with this product. Okay, and they were very bad in quality, or they were damaged or whatever. Okay, and what they want is they want a credit for that. Okay, maybe they already paid for the billing and all that, but now they want the money back. So what is money back? Is credit memo. We call it credit memo, like a credit memo in CRM. Okay, so in that case, I will click on credit memo. So as soon as I click credit memo, you can have a look. If I click on credit memo, and if I go back, it will generate one item here. See, it created one item here, and item has item category credit memo. Okay, we'll discuss about item category in the next chapters. But by clicking a button, it created a credit memo, and I can save it. As soon as you save it, this credit memo will flow to ECC. Here you have SAP CRM. Here you have SAP ECC. You created a complaint here. Okay. From the complaint, what you did was you created a credit memo. So as soon as you created a credit memo, if you're using the credit system in the ECC, it can flow to ECC here. It can automatically replicate to credit memo here, like a sales order replication. Okay. In the previous class, we discussed about how the sales order is replicated automatically. So it can be replicated to this system as well. Or for if you're using billing here, so we'll discuss about this in the billing topic, that you can use this billing or you can use this billing, either billing. Okay. So if using this billing, it can be customized to be replicated here. Okay. So as soon as you save it, it will generate one item in the ECC system. If using the billing here, then you don't need to do this step. This can be ignored. So it can be built here if you're using CRM billing. Okay. So you can assume for now that we're using CRM billing. Okay. So we can do this, and it will generate a credit memo item, and customer will, in the next billing run, customer will get their money back. So for example, it was $44 US, so they will get their $44 back. Okay. Now, second example. I'll go back to this first item again. If customer has paid extra, okay, no, sorry, yeah, no, if customer has paid less, okay, so for example, we were supposed to charge them $100, and accidentally we send them $80 invoice. Okay, again it's a complaint. They will say, okay, you charge us less. Okay, and then in that case I'll create a complaint and I'll create a debit memo. Debit memo means when I click on debit memo, it will generate one more item. Okay, this. Okay, debit memo means we charging them extra. Okay, I can change this item. This item, if I go to this debit item, I can change the price here if you want. Okay, this price you can change. Okay, and we will be charging the customer accordingly. Okay, that's a debit memo. Okay, I'll delete both for now. Okay, because either you charge credit, either you provide them credit memo, or either you provide them debit memo. Okay. Third option, if I click on this one, subsequent delivery. Customer will say, I'm not happy. Okay, I'm not happy with the quality of the product, and as per my discussion with the customer, I said, okay, what do you want? You want the same product back, okay, as with the better quality, or you want the money back? If they say they want the money back, I'll create a credit memo. If they say no, they're happy to receive the same product again, then what I'll do, I'll click on subsequent delivery. Okay, if you have SD background, you will know what is as subsequent delivery. Click on subsequent delivery, go back. It will generate a free of charge item. Subsequent delivery means it will create a subsequent delivery. Subsequent delivery is just like a free sales order. Okay, in SD term we call it subsequent delivery. Okay, so in that case you're creating a subsequent delivery. Okay, so subsequent delivery. So what will happen is this requires logistic, right? So what will happen is this will flow to SAP SD, and your subsequent delivery document will be created in the backend system. Okay, you will create here. So it's nothing. It's just like a free of charge item. So a free of charge item sales order will be created here, and no invoice will be generated. Zero invoice, $0 invoice will be generated for this one because we're charging it free. Okay, so you just need to click the button here. You need to click the button here, and system will do everything for you. Okay, just click save, done. In the backend system, new document is created, and it will automatically work. Next, it will be available for the billing run. Sorry. So from here, the logistic people will check the logistic or delivery. Okay, and finally billing. In billing, it will be zero. Billing will be $0 because it's a free of charge delivery. Okay, but delivery and nothing happened. Here we just need to click the button here, subsequent delivery. Okay. And fourth one is return request. Okay, so customers can say that there is some variation in some of the product. You send me 100 pieces of the product, but 5 of them are out of range. Okay, they're bigger in size, for example. And I can say them, okay, not a problem. What we can do is you can send it back and I will rework them free of charge and we'll send it back to you. Okay, in that case, what we do is we call it return transaction. We create a return transaction. Okay, in that case, what I'll say, okay, no problem. Click on return, go back, and a return order will be created. If you're using return here, the return order can be used here. Sorry, when you create this one, this return, it can be work in the same way like this one. Or return order can be created itself in CRM as well, which is my next topic I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, that's your return. Okay, return item will be created. You can see this is the previous one. Return item will be created. There's one error here. Okay, there it. Okay, it's not customized for the return. Okay, so it is very smart in this sense. Okay, you can do just by clicking on the button, you can do all these things. Okay. You can do the same from here as well. For example, you have more than one item. I'll delete this one for now and I'll save it. Instead of going to the item wise item, you can do it from header as well. Okay. What you can do, you can click on edit, actions. So don't need to go to item. So we have only one item I can select. So you can say 1000. What is 1000? In the bracket, there's the item number. Here is the 1000 number item number. If I have second item, it will be 2000, 3000 like that. Okay. So here I can say, okay, I want to create a credit memo. Same thing you can do it from here. Credit memo. You don't need to go into the item level. That's it. Simple. See. Okay, so that's your complaint. Okay, so complaint can be created with reference. It can be created without reference. I show you. Complaint and returns. Complaint again. And complaint. Okay, here as I said, you can create with reference, but you can create without reference. In that case, you need to click on this button, create complaint without reference. So that means I don't want to create it with, for any reason, I don't want to create with any reference, but here I will be entering my data manually. Okay, same like we create other transactions, same. So here I'm creating it manually without any reference. Okay, so that's your complaint. And that's your complaint. Then we have return. Okay, as I just discussed the return here in this section. Return, what is return? Return is like customer is not happy with the quality of some of the product. Okay, we have sent 100 pieces to the customer. 5 of them are like oversized. Okay, we need to rework them. Okay, then in that case, what I'll do, I will ask them to send the goods to my company. Okay, and we will do the return. Okay, so this return functionality is exactly same as SD. Okay, but the thing is, we can create the return document in CRM. Okay, so I can, in that case, I can go to complaint and return. I can click on return here, return. Okay, return. Okay, or return can be some other reason as well. So basically, what I'm saying is, for repairing, I can click on in-house repair. That means we'll repair it. We'll repair. So return and in-house repair are similar. There's a little difference. I'll tell you in a minute. So in-house repair is we'll repair it and we'll send it back. Return means they will say, okay, I've sent. Say they will say that out of 100 pieces, 5 are damaged. I'll say, okay, maybe I'll think, oh, this is a new customer. Maybe they're just making up the story to get the credit. I'll say, okay, can you send me the goods back? Okay, I will inspect them and I will see what we can do, and then probably we'll think what is the next. You want the money back or you want the same goods back? That means first I want to look at the goods. In that case, I can create a return as well. Okay, so I can create a return, click on return. Okay, same thing. Like we create the other transaction, same thing. You enter a sold to party and all that, or you can customize it so that it can behave like a reference. Okay, you can see as soon as I create a return, there's no reference screen here because it's not customized in the backend, in the customizing. So if you want, we can make a screen like that. So whenever someone click on return, they will see a screen like this. Screen like this, like reference. You can create with reference. Okay, we can customize it, and the next process will be same. Okay, so whenever you create a return, order in CRM, okay, return transaction, we can say this will be replicated to ERP in the backend system. Okay, how it is replicated, what we need to do, what we need to customize, what we need to set up, this is what we'll learn in the middleware topic basically. Okay, so in middleware we'll check that how we can replicate a transaction to the other system. Okay, so that's your return and complaint. Okay, complaint and return, and this is I just discussed in-house repair. Okay, where we'll say, okay, we'll repair our item and we'll send it back. In that case, we'll create a in-house repair. Okay, again, in-house repair also will flow back to, when you create an in-house repair, it will also replicate to ECC. Why? Wherever there is a logistic required, we need ECC. Okay, for in-house repair, because we'll receive the goods, okay, then we'll need to send it back. When we're sending it back, what we require? Logistic. Where is the logistic? In ECC, not in CRM. Same with return. Once we receive the goods, we need to put that back into the stock, maybe in the block stock or maybe whatever. We have different type of stock in SAP MM. Okay, so again, that's also a part of MM. So where is MM? ECC. So these document will be replicated to SAP ECC. Okay, so that's your complaints and return. Okay, so any question regarding complaints and return, please ask me before I move on. So okay, no question. Okay, so this is the end of the topic SAP CRM service. Okay, again, what we learned, we didn't learn service yet from a consultant point of view, because we still need to understand the customizing. Okay, so this is how the end users will be using it. Okay, or these are the different functionalities provided in SAP CRM. Okay, so again, there's a lot things to learn in customizing. So as I said before, only 20-30 part of our training in the beginning is learning this, and 70-80% is all customizing. Okay, now assignment, as you have the server access, what you can do for service, you can create install base and object. Okay, you can create a brand new install base and a new object, and also search for the different install base and objects we have created in the system. Okay, have a look, feel for it, create an install base, create the different components for it, create a text component, assign a sold to party, assign a product as well, assign an object as well to install base. Okay, similarly create an object. Okay, then service order processing. Okay, use the full-fledged service order processing. This 3-step process. Okay, go through this 3-step process. Create a service order and make sure you release it. Once you release it, use the service resource planning, and after resource planning, create a confirmation. Okay, you can use the transaction that I'm using here. Okay, it's called service process GS. My initial is there. Okay, so just go through this functionality once, and so that you can learn it deeply. And complaint and return. Okay, create a brand new complaint with a reference to the service order you created here. So whatever service order you created here, create a complaint against that. Okay, and that's all for now. And so main assignment will come when we start the customizing topics. Okay, so we still have a half an hour to go, but I think it's better to finish the class today, and tomorrow we'll start with a very fresh topic, SAP CRM marketing. Okay, so any question for today, please ask me, otherwise we finish for today. Question is, we will not take in-house repair. I didn't get it. What do you want me to create one? Is it? Just explain your question. Could you please review it again? Okay. In-house repair. The question is, could you review it again? Okay, no problem. We'll review it again. Okay, so again, I'll go to complaint and returns, in-house repair. Select that. Okay, so here I will select this standard one, in-house repair, and your transaction is ready. And here, like other transaction, I can enter data. Okay, and customer will say, okay, they're talking about this product, which we need to bring back. I'll say, okay, 5 of the quantities were with the problem, and save it. Okay, you can also reference it to you can also customize it like a complaint where you can reference it as well. Okay, we'll learn that in the customizing. Okay, is that okay? Okay, so next question is there any specific you want to ask for in-house repair? Please go ahead. So next is, can you please show how to create lead followed by opportunity, then followed by quotation, because I didn't get the relevant option in the follow-up. Okay. Whenever you practicing something, you get stuck. Okay, just drop me an email, or you can raise a question in the student forum as well, and I will check and fix it. Okay. So there are two things whenever you create any follow-up transaction. Okay, there are two things required to make that happen for the follow-up. Okay, first is there should be no error in your transaction. Make sure there is no error on the top right hand corner here. See, there are 4 errors here. Make sure there is no error. Most likely you will see the sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Okay, and for that I already told you what sales organization, distribution channel you need to use always. Okay. Second, it has to be customized. It has to be customized in the backend system, in the GUI system. Okay, if it is customized, then it will work. If it is not customized, it will not work. Okay, so whatever transaction you was working on, just drop me one email and I will check what is not working, or whatever transaction you created, send me a number of the transaction and I will analyze. I'll tell you and how to fix it, and I'll fix it, and you can create it again. Okay. Next is, what is the difference between using the action return in complaint and directly creating returns? Didn't get it. What is the difference between using action return in complaint and directly creating returns? I didn't get the question. Can you tell me what you mean by action return in complaint? What is action return? Okay, in the meantime, I'll take the next question. In in-house repair, if it is a new product, so I have to create it first. Yes, definitely. Definitely. You need to set up the product master first, then you can use it. And in like SD, CRM doesn't provide the functionality of entering a text item. Okay, that's a bit different, but that's how it is. So you need to set up a product. Okay, so yes, Prashant, can you explain what is you mean by action return in complaint? I'm not sure what you mean by action return. No, I can't hear you. If you want to talk, you need to raise your hand, or you need to tell me here in the chat box. Let me unmute you, because everyone is, sorry, everyone is mute by default. Yes, you raise your hand now. Yes. Yes,
hello.
Please, yes, you can speak.
Yeah, basically when you actually created a complaint, right? There were the actions like credit memo,
Yes.
credit memo, debit memo,
Yes.
and return, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so what is the difference between that and directly creating the return?
Okay. Okay.
Is there any difference or
No. No. I'll show you here. I think what you're saying is, if you go into the line item and do it from there, or you're doing it from the header. This is what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Okay, fine. Okay, no difference. Okay, no difference. So I'll show you. This is a complaint here. So either you can do it from there or do it from here. So this one is easy.
Oh.
This one is easy. That's the only difference. Okay, otherwise same. No difference. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no other question? Okay then, so we'll finish our class today, and we'll start tomorrow with a brand new topic, SAP CRM marketing. Okay, so thank you very much everyone for joining the class. We'll see you guys tomorrow.